I wanted to share more information about the honeybee and different types of bees. So here is the honeybee, and this is the bee that will build nests called hives out of wax that they build, that they make themselves, and they will use nectar that they've sucked up from flowers, and they will take it to their hives, and then they will fan the hives during most of the day and for a lot of weeks until that honey, the water in it has evaporated and honey is now created. So out of nectar, they make honey because the honey is used to feed their babies, the larvae. Now, not all bees make honey, but all bees are pollinators. And so pollinators will take pollen from flower to flower, and once the pollen from one flower reaches the other flower, it has a chance to create a fruit and seeds. And those seeds will be used to make new flowers and new plants. And that's where we get most of our food. And so they're very important. So what is the difference between a honeybee and other types of bees? Let's find out. This is called the sweat bee. These are very tiny bees. They usually make their nests under the ground, and they are the most common bees found in North America and around the world. They are attracted to the salt from your sweat. So especially during the warmer months, if you're outside playing and you notice that you find that bees are coming up to you, it might be because they want the salt from your sweat. As most of bees, they will not bother you and they will not sting you unless you pick them up or squish them or pinch them. Now we have also a carpenter bee, and a carpenter bee makes its nest in trees and wood. And what is very interesting is that sometimes they are so loud that when they're chewing with their mandibles, you can hear the sound of them chewing the wood. So I find that very interesting. The leafcutter bee tends to be alone, and the leafcutter bee will cut leaves to build their nests. Some of the leafcutter bees like to live together in groups or colonies, and some of the leafcutter bees like to live alone. Another bee that likes to live alone is the mason bee. The mason bee will grab mud and soil, and they will chew it up and spit it out, mix it with saliva, and make their nest. And within each nest or cell, they'll put in their eggs. And some varieties do like to live together, but for the most part, they will build their own nests out of mud. And the mud nests might be attached to a wall or to trees or to rocks. This is a bumblebee, and the bumblebee is very fuzzy. It's larger. It is also social. That means that it likes to live together with other bees, and they will have a queen that lays eggs. What is interesting is that the queen will go underground and sleep with her brood or with her family during the winter months. And they find places that have a lot of leaves and that have a lot of covers so that they can go underground and be covered and be kept warm by those leaves. These bumblebees also are pollinators like all the other bees. And then finally, one that I thought was really interesting is the cuckoo bee. Just like the cuckoo bird that does not build its own nest, the cuckoo bee does not build its own nest for its eggs. What it will do is that it will go and visit another nest from other groups of bees and will lay its eggs on a different nest. And it's called a parasite because, unfortunately, when the cuckoo bee's eggs hatch, they eat the food that the bees from that nest prepared, and it might kill the workers, and it might take over the nest. So The bees that stay in a nest are usually there to make sure that bees like the cuckoo bee are not invading their nest. So there you have it. A little bit more information on the different types of bees. Hope you enjoyed it.